Hello, everyone. It's Mr. Kissinger at the Citizenship Academy in Syracuse, New York, and this is 5th grade math module 3 review, lesson 2. Today, we're going to be learning how to add fractions with unlike denominators. So, on our quick review section, it says fractions must have a common denominator or a like denominator. Before we can add them. So if we were to model 1/3 plus 1/3, I'm going to make two holes here with lines separating them into thirds, and I'm shading 1/3 and 1/3, and we'll end up with 2/3. You have 1/3 here plus the other third there. We'll end up with 2/3. Now, if we were to model 1/2 plus 1/3, this one might be a little bit trickier because we have our denominators are not the same. So this one's halves and this one's thirds. I'm going to shade my 1/2 and 1/3. And what I could do to find my common denominator, I could always multiply my two denominators together and I could get 6. But if I want to find my least common denominator or my lowest common denominator, I will make a fact tree for each one. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, and then threes. I'll have 3, 6, 9, 12. That's as far as I need to go. I can see that my lowest one is 6, but if I wanted to make sure, oh, that's off the page a little bit. Sorry about that. It is 6, so it would just be multiplying those two together. I'll multiply my 1/2 by 3, and I'll 3/3, and I'll multiply my 1/3 by 2/2. I'm really only multiplying by 1. I'm not changing the value of the fraction at all. I'm just finding an equivalent fraction that will help me solve my problem. So if I multiply my 1/2 by 3/3, so I multiply 3 times 1 and 2 times 3, I'm going to end up with 3/6. And I need to make this into 6. So I'll need 1, 2. Okay. Alright, now I have 6. And then I need to make my thirds into 6. Well, I'm going to multiply by 2/2. And I'll end up with 2/6. And that will look just like this. If I count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I have 3/6 plus 2/6. And I'm going to end up with 5/6. We're going to review our steps for adding fractions. So our steps for adding fractions, we need to find our least common denominator. We can abbreviate LCD, least common denominator. We're going to rename the fractions. We need to add the numerators. We're going to leave the denominator the same. And then we're going to reduce or simplify. All right, so we're going to get some practice with this. First one we have is 2/5 plus 1/10. And we need to first find our lowest common denominator. I'm going to do I'll do my 5 fact tree here at 5, 10. Oh, and I am already at 10, so I can stop right there because I know 10 is going to be a multiple of 10, and that will be my least common denominator. So I need to multiply 5 by 1, 2 to get to 10. So I need to multiply my numerator by 2 as well. So I'll do times 2 times 2, and I'll end up with 4/10 plus 1/10, which will equal 5/10. But since I know that 5 and 10 are both multiples of 5, I can divide by 5 now. Divide by 5, divide by 5 to simplify, and I'm going to end up with 1/2. Because 5/10, 5 is half of 10, 5/10 is equal to, or equivalent to, 1/2. So let's look at number 2. 3/8 plus 1/4. I'm going to rewrite this down here so I have a little bit more room so we can see really what we're doing. 3/8 plus 1/4. I'm going to leave a little bit more space than that. Plus 1/4. And I can see that 4 and 8 have a common denominator there. It's going to be 8 because 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. And I'm going to multiply this numerator by 2. And again, I'm not multiplying my fraction by 2. I'm really multiplying it by 2 halves. So I'm multiplying by 1. And anything times 1 is itself. It's just going to be an equivalent fraction to 1/4. It's just going to kind of take on a different form. And this is going to end up being 2/8, 2/8. So I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to say 3/8 plus 2/8 equals 5/8. And I can't simplify that any further, so my solution will just be 5/8. All right, next I have 2/3 plus 1/6. Well, I'm looking at 2/3 and I go, well, 3 times 2 is 6, so I can multiply my 2 by 6 as well. So this is going to be 4/6 will be my equivalent fraction with 6 in the denominator. This 2/3 becomes 4/6. And then I'm going to add 1/6. 4 plus 1 is 5. I keep my denominator the same. And I'll end up with 5/6. Number 4, 1/4 plus 1/6. All right, so this one's going to be a little bit trickier because I can't just multiply my 4 and get sixths. So I'm going to need to multiply both of my fractions. So I have 1/4 plus 1/6. And I'm going to make a fact tree for 4s here. 4, 8, 12, 16. Well, I know 24 will be in common because 6 times 4 is 24, so that'll be a multiple of both of them. We'll see if we have a lower one. My fact tree for 6s will be 6, 12, 18, 24. But if we look, we do have a lower common denominator than 24. We also have 12. 4 times 1, 2, 3 is 12. And 3 times 1, or 6 times 1, 2 is 12. So I'll need to multiply my my 1/6 times 2. And then I need to multiply my 1/4 by 3. And I'm going to end up with 3/4 or 3/12, because my denominator needs to be 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 2/12, and that will be 5/12. 3 plus 2 is 5, should give me 5/12. That is my answer. All right, let's do a couple more here. We have 2/5 plus 1/2. Well, if I do 5s, I have 5, 10. Well, there's 5 times 2, so I can stop there. I can do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And my only common denominator there is going to be 10. So my 2/5. What do I need to multiply 5 by to get to 10? Well, I'll need to multiply 5 by 2. So I'll do times 2 times 2. And then my 1/2. What do I need to multiply 2 by to get to 10? Well, I need to multiply by 5. So I need to multiply my numerator by 5. So I'm going to end up with 4/5 plus, oh, I did it again, 4/10 plus 5/10. And I'll get 9/10. Two-thirds plus 1/4. Two-thirds plus 1/4. I can do 3 times 4, 2 times 4, 4 times 3, 1 times 3. And I'll end up with 8/12 plus 3/12, and I will have 11/12. All right, so I think that's all the time we're going to have for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you next time.